If I could rebuild my wardrobe from scratch, I'd break every single rule I used to follow. I know that might sound a little extreme, but the truth is your clothes say a lot about you, about what you believe, about how you see yourself, about how others see you, whether you realize it or not. Last year, I did something that honestly scared me. I got rid of almost everything in my closet. Not because I wanted to become a minimalist or follow a trend, but because I realized my wardrobe was built for someone I didn't recognize anymore. It was like my wardrobe belonged to someone I'd outgrown, and it wasn't the version of me I wanted to become. So I started over from scratch. And I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. It was so uncomfortable. But on the other side of discomfort is growth. And honestly, it ended up being one of the best things I've ever done, because rebuilding my wardrobe forced me to rebuild myself, to get clear on who I am, what I value, and what actually deserves to be brought into my life. And somewhere in this process, I realized this wasn't just about clothes. It was about alignment. It was about self-respect and honoring my truth, building a life that actually feels like me. We've all bought into things we later regretted, clothes, habits, even beliefs that didn't really fit us. That's why today I want to share 6 laws that completely changed the way I shop, dress, and even think about myself. Because these 6 laws didn't just help me create my dream wardrobe, they helped me create a version of myself that finally feels at peace in her own skin. And I want you to feel at peace in your own beautiful skin too. 6 laws that changed how I dress forever. Law number 1. You must know your style uniform. I want to do a little exercise with you. Close your eyes for a second. And just picture yourself in your current life, your current season, the climate you live in, and ask yourself this question: what would make me feel good inside if I were wearing it right now? The answer will look a little different to everyone. Maybe you're a student working in an office, staying home with your kids, or constantly on the go, or a little bit of everything. We all move through different chapters in life, and with every new chapter, our style shifts a little bit too. But even as our style evolves, there are always certain parts of it, those little signatures that stay the same. For me, that's been true since I was a little girl. My friends used to call me edgy, but honestly, I just liked being different. I never wanted to look like everyone else. Fashion was how I expressed that side of me. Now, as a 35-year-old mom of 2 and the founder of a baby brand, my style has definitely evolved. But even with all the change, that desire to be different never left me. These days, my personal style uniform is simple, minimalist basics, but with an edge. Maybe it's a bold shoulder or an unexpected detail that makes something classic feel a little different and unexpected. And if there's one thing that's become my signature, it's my jewelry. I love experimenting with asymmetry, combining different earrings in a unique way because it instantly elevates even the simplest outfit. It's effortless and unexpected, but it makes me feel like me. And when I think about my jewelry, what I reach for and wear every single day without hesitation, it's always IDYL. I love this brand so much because they get it. Their pieces are timeless and minimal, but still bold and unique. That perfect balance is something I naturally gravitate to. Their designs are modular, which means you can mix and match and create completely new looks with just a few pieces. It's like building your own story, one piece at a time. They use 18-karat solid gold and the highest quality lab-grown diamonds, and their craftsmanship is impeccable. You can feel how intentional they are in everything they create, not just in design, but in the way they think about quality, people, and the planet. That's why I've worn IDYL for so many years. It's part of my everyday style uniform. It feels timeless, grounded, and true to who I am. My newest pieces are from their collaboration with Tamara Kalinic. I'm sure you've seen her on social media. This is a woman who knows her style uniform and knows exactly what works for her. Her outfits always feel intentional, never forced. And that's something I really admire about her. Even though her career is in fashion, she stays true to herself. And you can feel that same thoughtfulness in her IDYL collection. These new additions to my ear stack are from Tamara's collection. They're called Paris, Capri, and Venezia. I combine them with my beloved Esme chain, and I'm so obsessed with this combination. Honestly, this is my favorite drop they've ever done and my favorite ear stack I've ever had. For me, true luxury has nothing to do with the logo or brand name and everything to do with the mission, the purpose, the materials, the craftsmanship, the attention to detail, and the story behind it. If you feel like IDYL's jewelry aligns with your personal style uniform, you can check them out at idyl.com/NikiSky or click the link in the description. But honestly, even if it doesn't align with you, I am proud of you for knowing that. Because the point isn't to buy what looks good on me, it's to get clear on what feels good on you. That's the real magic. When you know yourself, really know yourself, you start bringing things into your life that feel like home. And that, in my opinion, when your style is authentic to you, that is the most beautiful kind of style there is. Law number 2, my strict no-buy term. One of the best things I ever did for myself and my wardrobe was giving myself a 6-month no-buy term after I did my big closet purge last year. At first, I'll be honest, it was so freaking hard. But what it really did was build my discipline and self-control. It stopped me from those impulsive, I just need something new moments, and instead forced me to really sit with what I already had. When you pause buying or shopping for things for a while, you start seeing your clothes differently. You rediscover pieces you forgot you even owned. You get creative again. You learn what you actually wear and what's just taking up precious space in your closet. That time was so healing for me. It gave me the space to declutter, reorganize, and really understand what was missing, not from a place of lack, but from clarity. And now when I consider buying something, I take a moment to pause and reflect. And in doing so, I make better decisions and I am less likely to regret my purchase later. I also gave myself a 1 in, 1 out rule, which keeps me accountable for when I do buy things. It prevents things from getting overcrowded and out of control and makes getting dressed a lot easier and so much more enjoyable. When you're not constantly consuming, you start to recognize what you truly need, and it makes every future purchase feel intentional and earned. Law number 3, drop the luxury labels. This one might sting a little, but it's important to talk about. For a long time, I believed luxury labels were a reflection of success. But deep down, they didn't add anything positive to my style or to my confidence. If anything, they made me feel disconnected from myself and from others. Because the truth is, I don't actually value luxury for the label. I value luxury for the story, craftsmanship, longevity, and mission behind a brand, not for the over-the-top billboard ads and celebrity endorsements. But what happened was I realized that I had become a consumer of brands that stood for things I didn't truly believe. And then I was sharing them with my community, which fueled the system that was damaging our self-worth. And that misalignment started to feel heavy. So I let it go. A great example of this was letting go of my luxury designer shoes and handbags. I got rid of brands like Chanel, Hermes, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and so much more. And recently I even got rid of my beloved jewelry from Van Cleef and Cartier because it just got to a point where I felt like it was so misaligned with what I truly believe in that I had to let that go too. And instead, I started investing in high quality, premium shoes, handbags, and jewelry that do align with my lifestyle and my personal style uniform. Sure, they were not the price of high street fashion, but they weren't luxury either. But the quality and the craftsmanship was the same, if not better. And most importantly, the story and the mission behind these brands was what really captured my heart and made me so proud to support them. Because these smaller brands, I discovered, focus on small batch production using only the most premium materials and attention to detail, this means they can produce luxury quality pieces in the most controlled and sustainable way. One brand I discovered after purging my closet is NS Bags, which make the most beautiful everyday bags. And another is RSVP, a Parisian brand I recently discovered that produces only 500 pieces of each style at a time. It is a perfect example of luxury pieces made with quality craftsmanship, premium materials, and a price point that actually makes sense. And they look just as sophisticated and beautiful, but without the need for logos. I realized I don't need a logo to validate my taste or my worth. And I don't want to participate in a culture that equates style with status, because I genuinely believe that great style has nothing to do with how much money you spend and everything to do with how aligned your clothes are with who you really are. Law number 4, it must be intentional. The fashion industry is a very broken system that works by tapping into our psychological triggers and insecurities. It thrives on overconsumption. In order to keep you buying, it has to keep reinventing itself with new trends, new must-haves, new seasons, new drops, and unless you are extremely intentional about your purchases, it is very easy to fall into the trap of keeping up with the trends. Trends are designed to constantly make you feel like you have to keep up with the latest and greatest, and they are no longer a yearly forecast or even a seasonal one. There are new fashion trends every few weeks now. But this is all a facade. And if you're not careful, you start believing that your worth or your relevance in the world depends on keeping up with the ever-changing trends. But here's the truth. When you are constantly chasing trends, you start losing yourself and become distracted. That's what trends do. They pull you away from your personal style uniform and into this constant cycle of trying to catch up. I had to unlearn that. I had to remind myself that my style isn't supposed to change every few weeks. It's supposed to evolve slowly, intentionally, and in alignment with my real life. So now I buy less, a lot less, but with more intention. And I buy pieces that last. I buy pieces that tell my story and allow me to channel my most authentic self. Law number 5, it must be practical. Before I buy something now, I always pause and ask myself, how does this fit into my actual life? Not the fantasy version of my life, not the Pinterest version of my life. This one, the real one that I'm living right now. Because if I am being honest, a lot of what I used to buy made no sense for my lifestyle. As a mom of 2 and a founder of a baby brand working mostly from home every day, high heels, tiny little handbags, and delicate clothing just doesn't make sense for my life right now. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate them and love seeing others wear them and enjoy them. It just means that I'm being honest about the season I'm in right now. When you start honoring your reality instead of resisting it, your wardrobe finally starts to work for you and not against you. And that practicality doesn't make your style boring. It makes it powerful, because owning your truth will honestly set you free. Law number 6, it must be special. The final law I live by is simple. If I'm bringing something into my space, it has to be special. Not just cute, not just on sale, special. I've learned that if I don't absolutely love something, if it doesn't make me feel confident and excited and alive the second I put it on, it doesn't belong in my home or my closet. Because our space, our closets, even the things we wear, they carry energy. And I only want to surround myself with pieces that elevate mine. It's not about having more, it's about surrounding yourself with what makes your heart happy. And it doesn't have to be fashion related, it could be anything. A vase, a book, a piece of furniture, a decorative item. And guess what? Those special things you bring into your life, those are things you will carry with you for the rest of your life, because your energy attracted that special thing into your life to serve a special purpose, to create a special feeling, a special moment, a special sentiment. The point is, when everything you own feels special and intentional, from your clothes to your jewelry to the energy you bring into your everyday, that's when your outer world finally starts to reflect your inner one. When I look back on this journey from rebuilding my wardrobe to redefining what style even means to me, it's wild how much this process changed more than just my closet. It changed me, because this isn't really about fashion. This is about alignment. It's about slowing down enough to ask, does this really feel like me? When you start living that way, when you start living your life with intention, everything starts to shift. Your purchases, your habits, your values, even your confidence. You begin to realize that style isn't about how much you have, it's about how much of you is reflected in what you choose to keep. You learn to admire and appreciate another's personal style while knowing it's not yours. You learn to resist trends that don't align with your life and you. And that's really what these laws are about. They're not rules to follow, they're reminders to break old patterns that no longer serve us, to buy slower, live deeper, and reconnect with yourself through the things you choose to surround yourself with. Because when your outer world starts to reflect your inner one, when every piece you own has a story, a purpose, and a meaning, you stop searching for yourself in things and you start rediscovering yourself through the way you live your life. So whether you're rebuilding your wardrobe, your mindset, or just trying to reconnect with who you really are, I hope this inspires you to pause, to simplify, and to lead with your heart. If you're on your own journey of rebuilding, whether it's your wardrobe, your confidence, or just your sense of self, please know you are not alone. This space is for us, for the ones who crave more intention, more meaning, and more peace in the way we live and express our lives. If this resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe and be part of this community. I'm grateful to have you.